Okay guys, welcome back. I'm going to tell a little story about the Honda 420 TRX FM. This is my 2007 and it has had a hard life. Somebody commented a while back about the seat. Yeah, the seat's had a hard life too. So I had a CV boot go out and I knew that in the spring. And I contemplated, fixing it. So I went ahead at that time and ordered from East Lake Axle. They're on eBay. Ordered a set of axles. And with the axle came the wheel bearing and then the seals. And go on in time, and I contemplated, trading the four-wheeler off, but turns out, that there are no real four-wheelers anywhere in my area, new ones, and so I decided to fix the old one. And so to take it apart, it is very, very intuitive. The steering rod, it's got a nut on the top there, but it's not even a taper lock. Just a flat, so you got to hold the top and turn off the bottom nut, but it comes apart relatively very straightforward. It was nice to have the air fork to separate the ball joints there, but it's a real intuitive, real simple, straightforward job. The only thing you need to know when you're working on this is that a snap ring is what holds that bearing in, what holds the wheel bearing in. And so if you haven't cleaned off the grease, and you start banging on it trying to drive the wheel bearing out, you're going to have some trouble because there's a snap ring that holds it in. But anyway, we are almost ready for reassembly here. There's our old shaft. Because the four-wheeler has had a hard life, it's been used on the farm here for, well, it's a 2007, so it's been used for quite a while. And it's given honest service, but rather than repacking the CV joints, I decided to, you can take that boot off and repack them. I decided to go the route of putting in the new drive shafts and the wheel bearings. The CV joint on that side was bad, and the wheel bearing on this side was a little bit weak. So anyway, you can get the parts to tighten the front end, and it's a relatively intuitive job. I'll just walk through what I did real quick on this other side. And so you take off your brake caliper, you take off your shield. Once you have those out, you can take off that wheel nut there. And then the brake, disc brake, and that, the bearing carrier comes off. And then you just start popping ball joints. You got an upper ball joint and a lower ball joint. They are tight. They are relatively tight, so you're going to need a fork of some sort. You can take loose your shock absorber there. That allows you to move it up and down good. One thing I did learn, I watched a couple of the YouTube videos on this, and one thing I did learn is if you're just going after the shaft, if you just wanted to pull your shaft and repack your constant velocity joints, all you would have to do is pop the bottom ball joint. So on the 420 Honda Rancher, just by popping the bottom ball joint, you don't have to break your top ball joint. You can break the bottom ball joint, and then it will fold out of the way enough that you can get your axle out if you wanted to work on your axle, work on your CV boots. So that's a handy tip for me to remember in the future. You really don't have to do a whole lot except pop the bottom ball joint and take off that nut, and you can get the shaft out. So we will continue on with our shaft replacement here. Like people are learning, it's, if you can find parts, you're a lot better off right now fixing your own stuff as opposed to thinking you're going to get new. So anyway, called the dealer. They said a 3 to 4 month wait, and of course they wanted down money, and so that's why we're fixing what we have here.